Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video we're going to be testing the HPR BlackOps 223 62 grain OTF to try to find the best AR-15 ammunition. Alright guys, so testing our ammunition today, we're going to use clear ballistics gelatin, a drywall simulation, and then we're going to finish it off with a car door simulation. We're using our Delton AR-15 with the 16-inch barrel, and our shot's going to be roughly 10 to 15 feet. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the results. We're going to start off with the bare ballistics gelatin. So at that 1-inch mark, this is the top one we're talking about here, we start to see some fragmentation here. The jacket starts separating, and from the 1-inch all the way out to the 4-inch mark, the jacket is ripping apart. And then at that 4-inch mark, we see this red rust-looking powder, and this is what HPR calls their alloy core, powdered alloy core rather, and that's how they keep the ammunition lead-free. So that powdered core actually causes its own damage. So if you can see, it looks like a big star pattern reaching out throughout the entire block. And this actually is a 3-inch diameter area of damaged tissue, and that reaches from the 4 to the 6-inch mark. Now after that 6-inch mark, we see another piece of jacket here, and that's the last major piece of jacket that we see. The rest of the damage is caused by that powdered core pushing through the gel, and the farthest penetrating piece is here at the 12-inch mark. So overall, that ballistics gelatin shot on the bare gel was decent. 12 inches is kind of a minimal of penetration, so you might want to look for a little bit more penetration, but if you're worried about over penetrating your target and hitting some innocent person, then that is something you should consider. Next up, we did the car door shot. So as you can tell here, it struck the ballistics gelatin, it punched right through the car door, 2 clean holes, did not yaw or sway in any direction, hit the gel, and then we start to see some damage here, and it looks like we have jacket core separation here at the 4-inch mark. Now at that 4-inch mark, we start to see that reddish color again, and the ammunition did not perform as well as it did with the clear ballistics gelatin. A major portion of it continued on along this path here, and we see a large piece of the jacket that failed to separate, and that's all the way out at the 12-inch mark. Now if we go back to where it did separate into 2 pieces, we can follow that second track, and we can see here at the very top of the block that that's a major piece of powdered alloy core, and that's out to the 11-inch mark. So once again, we see a decent damage early on in the block, but it kind of failed to do any substantial damage to the ballistics gelatin out past 12 inches, which is where it really counts. Now we're going to switch the block around and check out how it performed with the wall penetration test. So what you're looking at here is the entrance wound for the wall test. As you can tell, it's pretty wide, which indicates that the round hit the block sideways. So from the 0-inch mark all the way out until the 5-inch mark, most of the damage was caused by a complete round that did not fragment as designed, but it did create 1.5 inches of permanent cavitation, which tells us that the bullet was actually probably facing us or facing away from us as it traveled through the block. At the 5-inch mark, it actually switched and pitched downwards, so the nose was pointing down, and it sliced through the gel all the way up and punched out at the 12-inch mark. Now, it's kind of difficult to tell from this perspective. Maybe if we look at it from the top, we can see, but as you can tell, the bullet actually pushed to the right quite a bit, so it went off its original trajectory, which is not something you should be looking for. Now obviously we would need a larger sample size to completely give you a definitive answer as to how this ammunition would perform in a home defense situation, but that is something to consider. Now overall, this HPR BlackOps ammo isn't too bad. It is incredibly expensive, which is something I don't really like. It has some really cool packaging, but what I would like to see is a little bit cheaper packaging and a lower MSRP. Thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give us a like, share, and subscribe for future content. I'll see you guys next time.